Have you been feeling exceptionally bored with life recently? If you found yourself stuck in an unending cycle of dread and apathy, you're in the right place. A little fairy told me all of her best kept secrets on how to turn your everyday life into a collection of whimsical, playful, magical moments. So welcome to Whimsy 101. This is a very awkward position. January 2026, when I deemed this year my year of whimsy. I know, not very original. Whimsy was being thrown everywhere, but I was committed to enjoying this year and living it to the fullest and just embracing all the bright and beautiful things in life. Since then, I've shared my baked goods inspired by fantastical worlds, cozy spring moments, and me recreating nostalgia for myself. If you were wondering about my credentials, Whimsy has no credentials. We'll talk more about that later. In the realm of food, here are all the things that I've been practicing off camera to live my optimal whimsical life. I know we've been seeing whimsy content everywhere, all over our social media, but how does one actually obtain said whimsy? To me, whimsy isn't about collecting cute things and trinkets and trying to recreate that aesthetic that we see all over our For You pages. Whimsy is lived, it's personal, it's a lens in which you view life through. It's noticing the beauty in mundane moments, celebrating things that we already have and do in our everyday lives, and simply appreciating the beauty that is already around us. So with that in mind, let's get whimsical. I just cringed at myself, but the saying is, to be cringe is to be free. If eating is something that we all have to do, why not make it a moment that we get to enjoy? I know we were told not to as kids, but play with your food a little. I especially love doing this for breakfast and for a quick afternoon tea or afternoon coffee break. Whether that's taking a few extra minutes to plate your food in a cute way or serving it up on your favorite plates and mugs. I think it is so fun to create that small, special moment for yourself. And it ends up feeling sort of like a mini art project that you also get to eat at the end. As you'll see through this entire video, I have been obsessed with my mini star cookie cutter. I literally think it is the cheat code to making any food look whimsical. Also, if you hear sounds in the background, that is my kitties doing their nighttime play routine, just adding to the whimsy and sound quality. Next, plates, cups, mugs, the wonders, my favorite things in the world, potentially. I feel like you can learn so much about somebody simply from the cups that they decide to use. And I personally find so much joy in finding little teacups and tea plates that kind of speak to me. And finding those little mismatched pieces to add to my ever-growing peculiar collection of dishware is very fun. I think the most important part here is to find pieces that make you excited to eat and drink every day. I found some of my favorites thrifting, which also doubles as a whimsical side quest. I also just swear that coffee tastes so much better in a cute mug. I've also been really enjoying tea lately. I don't know, there's just something about picking out different tea blends and trying them. I've actually loved trying seasonal flavors, so I've been drinking a lot of different rose teas and floral teas, and I also think it's a fun way to celebrate the seasons and different times of year. Some other things that I've been reaching for in my kitchen lately: cute molds. I mainly use mine for butter. I think it's really cute to kind of spell out little messages on your morning waffles. And I think chocolate would also be really tasty as well. Maybe even turn it into ice cubes to make a cute little latte message. A whimsy video wouldn't be a whimsy video without mentioning sprinkles. I know it's cliche, but I think it's just such a fun little way to add literal sparkles and color to your day. It just looks like something a fairy would eat, which is the highest compliment possible. Cookie stamps. I haven't used it too frequently. Last fall, made some cookies, but I think it's a fun shout out. Ice cube trays are also a fun one. The little spark of joy you get from looking into your coffee cup and seeing little stars and moons while you're potentially having a hard day at work. It's just the small things that you do for yourself that just make life a tiny bit better. This next category is what I call the art of slowing down and staying curious. And I think a good example of this is drinks. Like, instead of quickly throwing together an instant coffee, why not spend a little time and be intentional about it? Of course, make it personal, make it cute. Cute cups, cute straws. I recently got these butterfly straws, and what I've been liking to do is to coordinate the colors to my drink. So I recently made a rose matcha latte, and it was either a pink or a green straw. It just makes you feel like a little pixie, a little fairy living your life. For the actual drink itself, things like cold foam have been so popular recently, and I think trying to make one at home and playing with the flavors and the look of your latte is just a fun way to make your coffee a little more special. Something I've been doing for years is making at-home custom coffee syrups or drink syrups, and I love to change up the flavors seasonally. So my favorites in fall are always a salted maple, and recently in spring I made a jasmine syrup and a rose syrup, and I think just that little effort and excitement just make your drink more exciting and more fun. Also, don't be afraid to be a beginner. This for me is specifically about latte art. I've always found latte art so cool and so intriguing, and it's always been something that I wanted to learn how to do, but have always been intimidated to suck at first. But this year I actually wanted to commit to learning and continuously trying and not giving up, even though that means step one is my lattes looking like this, which I think is still very cute. You gotta start somewhere, and that whole process doesn't have to be daunting. It can be fun as well. There's just something so deeply rewarding about trying something for the first time, putting yourself out there and seeing yourself get better step by step. In today's bleak world, I fear we need to bring back color. I feel like everything is monochromatic and everybody's into the neutrals, but I think we just need to brighten up our lives. So instead of a regular bagel, I made a pastel fairy bagel. And I think this is fun because inherently that means baking with more seasonal and colorful fruits and produce and flowers, which are some of my favorite things to do and to live seasonally. I don't know if it's just nostalgia, but when I go back in my head and think about my childhood, everything is so vivid and so colorful. And why not just make things that bring a smile to your face? So now you have your whimsical food and your whimsical drinks, but why stop there? Instead of living life on autopilot and eating your lunch in front of the TV, scrolling on your phone, or having your coffee just sat at your desk reading emails, why not celebrate the small moments? Take it from me, I'm someone who rarely leaves my apartment if I don't have to, but lately I've been finding so much joy in packing up my coffee and my little snack or dessert and taking it out on a walk and finding a sunny patch of grass to sit on to enjoy the birds chirping and the sunlight on my face and the wind in my hair. And I find that I live in the moment more, and I get out of my head a little bit and actually enjoy the flavors of my drink, enjoy the textures of my snack more, and just be a little more human. Bonus tip here, use things for their unintended purposes. Classic is using an old jam jar for your coffee, or I have these little jam jars that I like to keep sprinkles in. But recently I found out that my butter dish makes the perfect vessel to bring my pastries and my little cake cakes outside, and I find that it's such a little way to kind of be more eclectic and more carefree. I am also guilty of eating most of my meals sat at my computer desk or in front of the TV, but taking a few moments to intentionally set the table has been so rewarding. This might just be because it's currently springtime, but I have been loving having fresh flowers in my apartment. I find it so fun every few weeks going to the store and picking out a new bouquet or a new bunch of flowers and decorating your kitchen or your dinner table. It makes you feel like you're living in a little fairy tale book. Treat yourself to flowers. I also recently discovered tablecloths. I know, very exciting. They've honestly been a game changer. Such an easy way to create a fun, cozy space for yourself. I am also someone who shovels down their meals, so creating that atmosphere kind of helps me slow down and again, enjoy my food. I recently got these beautiful springish linens that I've been enjoying my breakfast and my afternoon tea with. These, as well as some of my other favorite home pieces, are actually from Quince. So thank you so much to Quince for sponsoring this video. If you haven't heard of Quince before, they have incredibly high quality essentials. Of course, they're known for clothing, but they're also a one-stop destination for accessories and home goods as well, all at an affordable price. I especially love that they only work with factories with safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices. I've been loving these beautiful buttery soft linens that I got in these beautiful gingham and stripe patterns. I also got a few pieces that I've been loving in my kitchen as well. First is this stunning kettle. I also have this beautiful stoneware baking dish set. It's such a nice empty canvas for me to fill with all of my creations, including this matcha tiramisu that I made. Quince was also kind enough to send me one of their iconic cashmere pieces, so I've been living in this t-shirt since I got it. So you guys can elevate your wardrobe and your home essentials with Quince. If you'd like to check them out, you can scan my QR code here or check out the link in my description. That'll get you free shipping and 365 days return on your order. So thank you so much again to Quince. Now I have all of the essentials for a perfect cozy baking day. I feel like when people talk about decorating their space, they rarely talk about the kitchen, and it's such a big part of your home and somewhere you live in every day, so why not make it personal and make it a cozy place to be in? And if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that I like to decorate for the different seasons. So a cozy fall decor or a bright spring thing going on here currently. I think that also makes it another thing to look forward to. Looking forward to things is what keeps life exciting. Having pretty things and making pretty things is unfortunately not what makes you whimsical. It's bringing out the fun in everyday things and enjoying the act of creating and finding joy in creating. So give yourself permission to be bad at things. From a young age, I've always felt this deep, dark desire in myself to be perfect at everything I tried on the first try. I obviously wasn't. When that happened, I felt embarrassed. When I did end up doing well, I didn't feel any satisfaction or pride in myself either. So this year, I'm trying to give myself permission to just create, to not put any pressure on myself, as well as comparison. When it comes to the perfectionist in me, cakes are my arch nemesis. I feel like I always have to find a Pinterest inspo photo, and then I end up comparing mine to this perfect idea of a cake that I saw on Pinterest. So this year I've been practicing decorating cakes with no expectations of perfection, and it's actually been really healing and delightful. The general idea here is to let your mind wander and your hands wander, to be in the moment and simply create. treat your life like a storybook. Here are some things that I do to make myself feel like the main character. Set the soundtrack of your life. I love to listen to music when I'm baking or cooking. I think it just sets the entire vibe and the mood. That could be themed playlists if you're baking or cooking something specific, or some lo-fi jazz if you're having a dinner party. Anything that sets the mood and makes it more of an experience. Honestly, Animal Crossing lo-fi is constantly playing in my apartment. There is a YouTube video for any mood or occasion, but also there is probably a playlist on Spotify for any interest, any theme, and go crazy. Late night baking is one of my most treasured me time activities, and there's just something so serene and calming and cozy about cooking strictly by candlelight. Back to the giant theme of being present in the moment and enjoying creating. So my camera keeps dying on me, so we're going to practice WHIMSY and film the rest of this video on my webcam. And if you see the camera shaking, Droopy is making biscuits on my leg, so sorry for the camera work. I think I left off on this next tip, which is that I know all of these tips so far have been food-centric, but it doesn't have to end there. You could turn anything into a memory or a memento. I talked about this recipe book I got from my friends earlier this year, and I've still been working on filling it out with my favorite recipes. I think it's just so fun to have a collection of your favorite desserts and foods from the year and look back on that. One of my favorite things is when my friends ask for my recipe when I bake them things and they like them, and I'm able to loan it out or send them a screenshot of an actual written recipe. I've also been journaling a lot this year, and looking back, I found out that a lot of my spreads include food. I really like to showcase my favorite foods and restaurants that I had each month, and I think that is such a fun, charming idea to memorialize your favorite food memories. Another fun idea is documenting your favorite food memories on your calendar. I have been loving writing down what I baked that day or meals that I had with friends. Also scheduling in days to bake certain items. Similar to that, I made these punch cards in January with some goals and bucket list items that I wanted to complete this year, and I ended up making a baking card as well, and it is so satisfying to mark off things that I've baked. I also made a few for the different seasons, which also include baking related things and things I want to do. Like for spring, I wanted to make jam with fresh berries, gonna go on a picnic, just checking those things off and remembering that I actually want to do those things is really nice. Drumroll. In this last tip, I just wanted to remind you again that being whimsical doesn't have to fit a certain mold or aesthetic. It's about living genuinely and embracing your style and your way of life. Just enjoying yourself, basically. So this last thing that I made that I want to share is, instead of feeling pressured to buy sprinkles, for example, from all those aesthetic TikToks you see, you can make your own. Make them any color you like, any shape you like, and just have fun. Alright, that's everything I have for you. Here's to romanticizing the rest of your year, the rest of your life, one small whimsical act at a time. If you have any whimsical tips for me or anything that you think would make my life a little more magical, I'd love to know down below. And yes, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, I also hope you have an amazing week, an amazing whimsical week.